All right, so listing rockets. Should I run a DYVA ad or should I run a carousel listing rocket? And more importantly, what are listing rockets, right? So in this video, I'm going to walk you through everything you would possibly need to know about listing rockets through mission control, including the exact strategies that we've used to help this client right here in California land a $1.1 million listing, and this client in Southern California land a listing after showing the seller a seller report, which pulls data from listing rockets, and we'll get there too. So listing rockets, what are they? Well, these are property-specific Facebook and Instagram ads that will show to people living within a 15-mile radius of the property you're wanting to advertise. Now, there's two types. Now, there's DYVA ads and there's carousel ads. And if you go into mission control right now, you're always going to have the ability to run DYVA ads, but you might have the carousel option grayed out, and we'll get to that in a second. So DYVA ads are videos. Now, these are very different from any other advertising that we're doing for lead generation through Ylopo. So when you go into mission control and you create a listing rocket, if you choose the DYVA option, that's going to charge you separately from everything else that you're running right now. It's also going to pull photos from that listing in the MLS and put them into this video template that will create this nice, beautiful video depending on which template that you pick. Now you've got two options here. You've got the option to pick how long you want to run the ad for. You also have the option to set a budget. Now the minimum budget is $65. There's a caveat to that, right? We will spend through that budget as long as the property remains active and as long as the duration of the ad is set on your end. So if you want to run it on September 1st to September 30th, and the property is active from the 1st to the 30th, we will pace through that $65 over 30 days. Now you can run a DYVA ad for a weekend. Let's say you want to pick the open house template. You pick the start and end date of the open house. That's going to launch to people living within that 15-mile radius of that property and show them that video while the open house is up and running. So that's a very quick overview of the DYVA ads, because the DYVA ads you're always going to be able to run because it's charging you separately from everything else that you've got. Now, if you have a Facebook budget, social buyer budget, and mission control, you're able to run DYVA ads. If you don't, you'll see that it's grayed out. Now, why is it grayed out if you're not running Facebook ads? Well, the carousel listing rocket budget is always going to pull budget from your Facebook buyer budget. So it's technically no additional cost to you unless you don't have a Facebook budget. And you don't have to do too much work while setting up the carousel listing rocket. Why? Because we're just going to pull the photos from the listing on the MLS, show them in the ad for you. There's no templates that you have to pick from. You just need to enter the MLS number, make sure all the data in the setup process is correct, hit confirm, and that's usually up and running in about 10 to 15 minutes. Now, what's the difference between these two, right? So DYVA ads, because they're videos, will reach more people on Facebook. It's not necessarily going to generate you a lot of leads compared to a carousel ad. Why? People normally, for whatever reason, don't click on videos to become leads. They just watch the video, right? It's more about staying top of mind at that point. But for the carousel listing rockets, those are very similar to the lead generation ads we run on Facebook for you. And those do very well at getting clicks to your home search site and then getting leads that way. So you're going to get more leads from the carousel listing rocket than you would from the DYVA listing rocket. Now, that being said, you always have the option to run both. And I actually recommend running both. Why? Because this will get into the seller report. The seller report will pull numbers from your listing rocket data. So if you're running a listing rocket for a DYVA, the number of times that people are seeing your ads, that number in the seller report is going to be inflated because it's giving you a 30-day outlook based off of the performance of the listing rocket. But videos will inflate the numbers and the people in your database and on Facebook that you're doing advertising for. So you can go to the prospective seller and say, hey, this is all the advertising I'm doing. Look at how many people saw my ad in the last week. It's also going to forecast that over 30 days. So if you want to bring those numbers up, run a DYVA. Now, if you want to generate more leads, you can say, hey, I already have 10, 15, 50, 100 people in my database that are looking for properties exactly like the one you're trying to list right now. And then it's also going to show them the data to back it up, literally a screenshot from your CRM, of course, canceling and blurring out the confidential information, but that's going to generate more leads. So it's kind of twofold, right? You want to increase the number of the people that you're reaching with advertising, and then also get the right people in your database to go to that prospective seller and say, hey, this is the advertising I'm doing and I'm willing to do for you as well. And I'm outsourcing that to a professional marketing company, right? Ylopo. And then I already have leads in my database that are looking for properties just like yours. And I realize what we just went through is a very, very, very quick crash course on listing rockets. But if it comes down to it, if you have the ability to run both DYVA and carousel, always do that. And if you want to run a carousel ad, but you don't want to spend money on Facebook, just message marketing@ylopo.com, send us an email, and we can have this reserve budget set up for you so you can run that listing rocket for however long the property is active. So if you found this helpful, let me know, leave a comment down below. Happy to help you out. Cheers.